I honestly thought, man, oh man, if Chery doesn't do something drastic about this invasive system, man, it's dead in the water. And keep in mind, price category for the last time. First thing you do is you open it and you think, oh yeah, I'm a man of the world, driving around in the sun. I have a sense of relief right now. After having driven this car, I can tell you, I thought. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dimitri and this is Value Cars Australia. You guessed it, once again I am in Chery Omoda 5. This time it's a lovely black color version that was given to me very kindly for a little extended test drive by my very good friends at Chery Ride or Ride Chery, whatever you prefer to call them. It's a lovely dealership here in Ride, not very far from where I live. If you're looking for a Chery vehicle around Sydney area, I think that they are awesome and I think that they have the right attitude. They will give you the right information about the vehicle. I think you should come and visit them. Yeah, that's what I think. And no, they're not paying me. We are just friends. So the focus of this video is that I have recorded a previous video with the blue one, with the lovely blue one that was also given to me by the same dealership for a test drive to kind of take a proper look at. I was not pleasantly sort of surprised. I was negatively surprised, for the lack of a better word, with this rather very obtrusive and invasive driver monitoring, fatigue monitoring system. There is this little camera here that stares at you the whole time, and the whole time I was driving last time around, I was having my sunglasses on, and in those sunglasses, turns out, long story short, turns out that the driver fatigue monitoring system is there to look out for you, but it is so overzealous and it's so kind of poorly tuned, let's call it that, at least in the stock version, in what I was driving before, that it could not detect the sunglasses, thinking that something's wrong with me, for the lack of a better word, again. At least that's my interpretation. And it was constantly pestering me with these dings and bongs and like I'm not fit to drive anymore and I've been distracted for too long, and I was like, leave me alone. I'm trying to like you so much right now and you are in my way of liking you, Omoda 5. Please stop it. Talk to me in the comments down below, leave a like right now, and let's go for a drive in this beautiful black Chery Omoda 5. So far I can tell you straight away, sunglasses are on, sunny day, same conditions as last time when I drove the nice lovely blue one, and I can tell you that so far I have not heard or have seen here a single notice from the fatigue monitoring system that it would be unhappy with me. It's fine so far by the look of it. We will also have a look at how complex it is to turn it off completely, so I'm going to overlay a little bit of a video here on top of this while we're driving and not much is happening otherwise. I'm going to also show you where exactly that fatigue monitor is here in the settings of Omoda 5, and how can you, in case your version of Omoda 5 has not yet had a software package update, because I believe, and I was told very quickly by my people at Chery Ride, that this particular black one that I'm driving right now has had the software update, which made this system, the driver monitoring system, a lot less sensitive, which is exactly what we were asking for. So in case yours has not been updated just yet, I think that you will benefit from seeing how to explicitly turn it off. Yeah, last time I drove, I was wondering whether or not it would be an easy task to turn off that monitoring system, or if it's going to be sort of obscure, sort of like somewhere there in the depth of the different gauges and switches and whatnot. And I think from what I've seen, by the way, just from what I'm showing to you, look, it's not something that unfortunately is very easy to turn off, like with the press of a button here on the steering wheel, for example. That would have been lovely. But because it's an emergency support kind of system, one of those that they believe is helpful, yeah, I personally feel that it's invasive and I don't want the camera to stare at me. That's just me. But as my friends at Ride Chery rightly so pointed out to me, and I will just credit where it's due, I'm going to rebroadcast it to you because I agree with this statement. Everyone has their own threshold for how much of assistance they want from the car. They see it as a benefit, versus how invasive they find these actions from the car. My balance of it, or threshold, my threshold of getting annoyed from these electronics getting in my face is very, very low. So for me, it's kind of easy to start seeing this as unhelpful. But for a lot of people, including yourself, and I'm speculating here obviously, it could be very, very, very different. Could be very, very different. So far, my friends, and again, I'm comparing it here to that video that I pre-recorded driving that one, the blue one, where the software was not updated and where the driver monitoring system was very invasive. I found it very invasive, very annoying. So far, this is a much different drive. It's so much more pleasant. It's a really pleasant drive. The seat is comfortable. I find it very comfortable. I already said it in one of the previous videos, but I'm going to repeat it in case this is the first one about Omoda 5 that you see from me, from my channel. I find that the bucket seats, so it's kind of a bucket seat, isn't it? I find that the bucket seats are actually quite comfortable, very comfortable, but they are certainly not exactly to the level of practically a racing luxury car seat that the MG HS Essence top of the range model that I used to have over a year ago, that car had. But it's close. I think it's close. I think it's a comfortable seat. Everyone talks all the time, and I said it myself several times, everyone talks about these awesome panels for the wireless phone charging and just resting your phone in case your phone doesn't support the wireless charging. These central panels are designed in a very, very ergonomic way. Once again, clapping here for Chery. Well done. This is definitely a very, very good feature. Which overall, again, if we try to interweave the good with the not so good, to stay real with you, my friends, which I always aim to do, I think that this driver monitoring system, from the newcomers to the market, from the, let's call them Chinese cars on the market, Chery Omoda is the first one with an active driver monitoring system. I am not saying it's the only one, and I'm not saying it's only Chinese. I know that a lot of other cars from other manufacturers, they have these monitoring kind of cameras and kind of thing that looks at you, right? For example, GWM Aura. GWM Aura is a lovely electric vehicle, which I think is awesome. That is spoiler alert. But at the same time, it also has this driver monitoring fatigue camera on the right. Chery positioned it here right front and center, and that is one thing that I don't like. I don't like generally. It's good that Chery allowed us to turn it off. Great. It's also good that they reduced its sensitivity, and so far it has not been complaining about my sunglasses like it did last time. So that's the main message of this particular video and this particular test drive. Additionally, I would like to say one more thing to you. If you watched my very first review of Chery Omoda 5, also provided by my friends at Ride Chery, you guys are awesome. A while ago now, a few months ago, I drove a white one. And that white one, it felt creaky. It felt plasticky and a bit creaky to me. And I talked to you, as I honestly always say things like, hey, just be mindful of that in case you feel like it's the quality is not there or whatever. I think that it's okay. You know what it just did, by the way? You know what it just did? I looked at you right there, and the cars in front, I'm usually a very good driver, so yes, I talk to the camera, but I pay attention to what's in front. But that was like, I don't know, not even 5 seconds, I suppose, of me looking that way. But the street light turned green, and the car in front took off and drove away, and I am not, and I'm still standing there, only a few seconds behind. And that gentle ding said to me, the car drove away. The front car drove away. That is funny. Thank you very much. That was funny. So there are lots of these kind of intelligent things that don't annoy me. Okay, I know you're like, Dimitri, but you are the guy who gets annoyed with like electronic invasive things and stuff. I am, and I do, and you're right. But in this particular case, again, credit where it's due. If something is good, well, it deserves my praise. It does deserve the praise. But if I compare it to its class, it's not creaking. Once that driver monitoring system is off, I'm actually not annoyed. That is objective feeling. This is the top of the range Chery Omoda 5. 1.5 turbo petrol is enough for city traffic, plenty, it's enough. Acceleration is good, dynamics is good, it's not a race car, certainly. And I think this car is not built for speed, clearly. I think it's built for enjoyment and for this, I'm gonna say it carefully, but please bear with me. I think it's built for the sense of pseudo luxury. What do I mean by that? I mean that upon close examination, looking at the steering wheel, looking at the stitching, looking at everything, I would personally say that perhaps Haval H6 in Lux models up seems a little more expensive on the materials and on everything, but this is a pass mark. This is definitely a pass mark. And keep in mind, price category for the last time. There is a manually operated, at the very least, shade of the sunroof. It is not a panoramic sunroof in the top model like in MG ZST Essence. It's not the full roof, basically glass. It is only this, let's call it a hole above me. Yeah, it's not bad, it's okay. But like I said to you, in relation to MG ZST, in relation to this particular vehicle, I think that sunroof specifically as a feature is very overrated in Australia. When you get a new car and you never had a sunroof, first thing you do is you open it and you think, oh yeah, I'm a man of the world driving around in the sun. But it's the most overrated freaking feature. You don't need it, in other words, in Australia. You don't. You simply don't, okay? In some, like, I don't know, in Russia, somewhere with rain and snow, and in Northern Europe, of course you want every smidgen of the light inside. That's why there maybe it's okay. Here, completely unnecessary. What else? We have not tested the sound, because I am generally not particularly interested in that kind of stuff. But the speakers here are Sony manufactured. That, I think, by itself, just by the virtue of it being Sony, suggests to us that the sound system here inside of Chery Omoda 5 is probably going to be quite good comparatively to anything else, just no brand kind of China-made stuff. That's one thing. Ergonomics, all right. Seating, comfortable. Dash is a little higher than I personally would like, with my 175 centimeters tall average height. I'd say it's a little tall for me. I would have preferred myself to sit higher. But I am an SUV driver and I'm a Jeep driver at heart. That's why I consider Tank 300. That's why I consider those kind of cars. That's just neither here or there. It's just a nice car, city car. All in all, my friends, I think the car is perfectly suitable for city driving. I think if you simply like the design, because what does Chery really win on? What do they win on? Like, hands down, it is on the exterior design. If that exterior design is your thing, if it's your thing, they win on it, because everything else looks, I'm sorry, borderline boring compared to this. That is my humble opinion. You let me know yours in the comments down below. I am concerned about invasive electronics. That's my main thing with Haval, with this. It's my main thing. And so far today, I am so relieved. I have a sense of relief right now after having driven this car. I can tell you, I thought when I drove the other one, when I drove the non-updated software version of the last time, of the bluey one, the lovely color one, right? I honestly thought, man, oh man, if Chery doesn't do something drastic about this invasive system, man, it's dead in the water, because it's a horrible invasive system, okay? But luckily, very luckily, they have actually seemingly done something about it. Fingers crossed. Do you see my fingers crossed? My fingers are crossed that the car is actually going to be a lot better than maybe I feared that it's gonna be. Okay, so good on you, Chery. Well done on updating the software. Please, the only thing that I will ask you on behalf of every potential buyer is please consider allowing us, I'm gonna say us, as consumers, as potential buyers of your car, of your vehicle, of a Model 5, please allow us to turn off this driver fatigue monitoring system permanently. Do not even get me started on this being required as an ANCAP rating 5-star thing. BS, I'm calling BS straight away. You know why? Because there are heaps of other cars, including of Chinese origin, that are passing this ANCAP rating 5-star requirement, and they don't have any of that. Or if they do, they allow to permanently turn it off, like MG ZS T, and it still is rated very highly on the safety rating. So thank you to Chery Ride for allowing me to once again complete this very all-rounded review with different Chery Omoda 5s. Not even one vehicle, but multiple ones. I'm glad they did, because this changed my opinion. I was this close from producing a video where I would very much criticize the car for this invasive system. And now I don't have to. So enjoy. Hopefully you like this video. Hopefully you will give this at least an honest test drive. I always say, decide for yourself if the car is right for you after a test drive. After you listen to someone who is honest, who is not paid by the brands. Listen to someone like me who is honest, then go and test drive this. Go test drive two closest competitors, MG ZST and Haval Jolian, and then choose out of these three. Thank you for watching. Talk to you next time.